Mang Tomas all-purpose sauce is more than just a sauce. For Filipinos, it's like a taste of home, a flavor that brings back memories of family get-togethers and big parties. Its official name is Mang Tomas all-purpose sauce because you can use it for so many different dishes. The sauce is thick, brown, and shiny. It has a special taste that's hard to explain but easy to love. It's savory, a little sweet, and has a zesty kick that makes it perfect for rich roasted meats. This special flavor comes from its main ingredient, which is usually pork liver. All the ingredients together make a taste that is truly Filipino. This sauce is a must-have in every Filipino home, both in the Philippines and in other countries. It's most famous for being served with lechon, which is a whole roasted pig that's the star of any big feast. The crispy skin and juicy meat of the lechon are dipped into the rich sauce, making a perfect mix of flavors. But you can use it for more than just lechon. Filipinos use Mang Tomas as a dipping sauce for all kinds of fried and grilled foods, like fried chicken, pork belly, and even simple fried fish. It's a sauce that can be used for many things and makes everyday meals feel more special. How important Mang Tomas is to the culture is huge. Seeing a bottle of this sauce on the dinner table means a good meal is coming. It shows how much Filipinos love eating together and sharing food with family and friends. During birthdays, holidays, and town parties, big bowls of Mang Tomas are always there, passed around for everyone to enjoy. For many Filipinos living far from home, finding this sauce in an Asian market is like finding a piece of their history. It connects them back to where they came from and the comforting flavors they grew up with, no matter how far they are from the Philippines. The sauce is popular because it goes well with the strong flavors of Filipino food. It cuts through the richness of fried and fatty foods, giving a tasty contrast that cleans your mouth. The sweet and tangy parts make the meat taste even better without taking over the flavor. This perfect match has made Mang Tomas a key part of Filipino cooking for many years. It's a simple, cheap sauce, but it means a lot to the culture. It's a symbol of happiness, family, and the delicious and complex Filipino food, a flavor that you know right away and really love. In late 2024, some news really shocked the Filipino-American community. The United States Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, put out an alert that basically stopped new shipments of Mang Tomas from coming into the country. This wasn't about taking products off shelves that were already there. Instead, it was called a detention without physical exam order. This meant that any new shipments of the sauce would be stopped at the border until the company that makes it could prove it met U.S. safety rules. This alert also affected other well-loved Filipino products, like certain kinds of banana ketchup and sweet spaghetti sauce, causing a big problem for Filipino food lovers. The reason for the ban was that the sauce had some food additives that the FDA doesn't think are safe to eat in the United States. One of the main ingredients they were worried about was potassium iodate. Even though it's used in some countries, the FDA hasn't approved it as a food additive in the US because it could be bad for your health. This includes possibly messing with your thyroid and concerns about it causing cancer if you eat too much. The FDA's job is to protect people, and this additive was flagged as a big health concern that needed to be fixed before the product could be sold again. Another additive found in the sauce was butylated hydroxyanisole, or BHA for short. BHA is a chemical used to stop fats and oils from going bad, which helps food last longer. However, some studies have suggested that BHA might cause cancer and could change human DNA. Because of these possible health risks, how it's used in food is very strict in the US. The FDA decided that having BHA in Mang Tomas, along with other ingredients they didn't approve, made the product not fit to be brought into the country under current American food safety laws. Lastly, the FDA also worried about the use of benzoate, another type of chemical used to keep food fresh in the sauce. While some kinds of benzoate are allowed in small amounts, there are growing concerns about it possibly hurting the good germs in your gut, which are important for your overall health. The mix of these unapproved or limited additives, potassium iodate, BHA, and benzoate, made the FDA take action. The ban was a way to protect people and make sure that all food products sold in the US follow the country's strict safety rules, leaving a big empty spot on the shelves of Asian grocery stores all over the country. The news about the FDA ban spread fast through Filipino communities all over the United States, causing people to panic right away. Folks rushed to their local Asian grocery stores, hoping to buy whatever Mang Tomas was left. Shelves that used to be full of the famous bottles were empty in just a few days. This sudden rush made it very hard to find the sauce, leaving many shoppers sad and empty-handed. For many, thinking about cooking their favorite Filipino dishes without this important sauce was really upsetting, as it felt like a key part of their cultural food was suddenly taken away from them. As the amount of Mang Tomas available got smaller, something bad started to happen. Prices went way up. Some sellers took advantage of how much people wanted the sauce and started selling the remaining bottles for much, much more money. A bottle of sauce that usually cost a few dollars was suddenly being sold for as much as $20 or even more, both in stores and online. This made it hard for many families to buy their favorite sauce. The community felt a mix of frustration and sadness. They had been using these products for years without any problems, and the sudden ban felt like an attack on their traditions. The ban hit people emotionally in a big way. Mang Tomas isn't just food, it's a strong link to Filipino history and who they are for those living far from home. The sauce's familiar taste brings comfort and a feeling of being connected to home. Losing access to it felt like losing a small but important piece of their culture. Many people shared their feelings on social media, telling stories of family meals and parties where Mang Tomas was always on the table. The band showed just how much these simple food products mean to immigrant communities in keeping their culture alive. Because the sauce was so hard to find, the Filipino community showed how tough and creative they are. Many people started trying to make the famous sauce themselves in their own kitchens. Chefs and home cooks began sharing their homemade recipes online, trying out different ingredients like pork liver, breadcrumbs, vinegar, and spices to get the taste just right. While it wasn't exactly the same as the original, making their own versions became a way for people to keep their cooking traditions alive. This effort showed that the community was determined not to let the ban stop them from enjoying the flavors they love. Facing the ban and the complaints from their loyal customers in the United States, the companies that make Mang Tomas and other affected products in the Philippines knew they had to do something. The US is a very important market, especially with its large and growing Filipino-American population. News quickly came out that these companies were already working to change their recipes. Their goal is to take out the specific additives that the FDA flagged, like potassium iodate and BHA, and replace them with ingredients that are allowed in the US. This takes time, as they need to make sure the new recipe is safe while still having the taste that everyone loves. Changing the recipe is a difficult but necessary step. Manufacturers need to find other ways to keep the food fresh and other ingredients that meet the FDA's strict rules without losing the special flavor and texture that make Mang Tomas so popular. This means a lot of research, development, and testing. The hope is that by following US rules, they can get the import ban lifted and bring their products back to American stores. For the companies, it's a very important business decision, but for the community, it means the possible return of a much-loved cultural staple. This willingness to change shows how important the export market is. This situation points to a bigger issue about selling food globally, and how different countries have different safety rules. An ingredient that is commonly used and thought to be safe in one part of the world might be limited or banned in another. The Mang Tomas ban is a wake-up call for food makers around the world to be more aware of the specific rules in the countries where they sell their products. It also shows how much power groups like the FDA have to decide what people can buy, sometimes affecting cultural practices in the process. It's a lesson in how complicated the global food system is. In the end, the story of the Mang Tomas ban is about more than just a sauce. It's about who you are, old traditions, and how important food is in connecting people to where they came from. For Filipinos living far from home, a simple sauce can be a deep source of comfort and a clear link to their heritage. The community's strong reaction to it being gone, from buying everything up to making their own versions at home, proves how deeply this flavor is a part of their culture. There is now a shared hope that the companies will succeed, allowing Mang Tomas to soon come back and take its rightful place on the dinner tables of Filipino families across America.